Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. So today what I want to do, I want to answer a question from my chosen ones, which has been asked multiple times, which is, why do we suffer so much? You know, why are we in so much suffering? Why is it so much suffering going on? You know what I'm saying? And my perspective is following like the natural flow of life. Words are spells and spells are real. So I never really took the approach of it as suffering. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done been through a lot of rough shit. So, you know, it may varies from everybody, but we all have our own rough obstacles that we go through. But that also varies on your outtake and your opinion, as far as like, if you're looking at it as a suffering kind of subject, or if you're looking at it as you're a warrior and you're taking it as an obstacle. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I always had the approach of it as, you know, this is an obstacle. If it's something that is harder to plan out for a long period of time, let's say for a year or a couple years, maybe a couple months, then you go down to a couple weeks or a couple days. If these things become harder to process while you in that space, what I would do and what I always done was I focused my energy on the now. I stayed more in the now. If I would to travel out to the future, I would try to make sure it's a healthy space and goals and shit that's obtainable that I could reach. But I wouldn't stay in that space too long. The way I'm set up now I can hang out in that space longer. But before, when I didn't hang out in that space long because my situation wasn't calling for me to hang out in that space. I had to focus on the now, and I had to focus on my energy now. So if I wasn't focusing on my energy now, everything that was going on would have just probably kept accumulating, and I would have shifted my energy to flow with that shit that was tweaking my energy. Even now, you know what I'm saying? I just said before, like, I got fucking broke phone and fucking broke my daughter tablet. I just had to put some parts on the car. Like, you already know we all got bills, you know what I'm saying? So it's and this is like slight. This isn't even like this is like the bare minimum of like my obstacles now compared to having to be in certain kind of living environments and situations and things, you know what I'm saying? And having to focus my energy a lot harder, shrug things off, brush things off a lot faster, you know what I'm saying? And still be able to recover my energy in an appropriate time, you know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't look at it as suffering, you know what I'm saying? We warriors. Once you understand that it's a battle going on, then what happened is you was just letting the opposition whoop your ass. You're just getting your ass whooped. So, I mean, I can only imagine if somebody getting their ass whooped, they suffering. So you gotta get the fuck up and you gotta fight. Or you gotta be able to skedaddle and be able to call somebody or figure something out to where you got some assistance right there with you. You know what I'm saying? But we are not suffering. It's not suffering when you warn. You know what I'm saying? It's just part of the battle. And the way this shit is set up, the matrix isn't moving. So you're constantly battling. So once you understand that, then you start minimizing the spaces that you're giving your energy to, because you already know you automatically are gonna have some mandatory battles when you get up. You know what I'm saying? We already know we got those when we time travel, when we sleep. So when you get up and you start maneuvering around, you already know you have battles. So for me, it's like, all right, I know I have my own little things that I have to make sure I manage my energy in the house where I'm at. It's an old house, but it's in like the fucking quote unquote city area of the town where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? It's from the city, so this is smaller than the city, but they still call it a city. But even being in that space, I know it's a lot of different energies that been through that space. You know, it's an old ass building, but it's in a good space. You know, they kind of, the way this town is set up, they just broke down all the fucking big ass mansions and houses and put them into apartments, a lot of them, because this is quote unquote Thomas Jefferson town. You know, that's one of the biggest presidents in their society. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, my household itself is a battle. So I already understand that. So I'm not gonna intake any other kind of battles from my third party, which is my phone, my technology. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna handle this one first, make sure I get up, get my routine and my energy flowing before I allow any of this to intake me. And if I allow this to intake me, then it's already after I'm already maneuvering up and getting ready to move out the house when I already know I'm gonna have to battle. You know what I'm saying? So it's just all in your perspective as far as like how you intaking the concept. I'm never going to take it as suffering. Don't matter how much shit I go through. Even when I put my own self in the position to go through and do that time, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't... Look, I didn't take that as suffering. That's part of the battle, you know what I'm saying? I was lost in the sauce out here. I made some decisions and shit happened, you know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. But I didn't take none of those steps as like, all right, bet this is about to be like, hard as hell, or this is suffering. Like, in my mind, I already knew going through the process, like, all right, I was already lost and confused already, so at least I'm gonna take this time to be able to focus my energy more and work on my patience. You know, I didn't know how much I actually need to work on, but I knew that that was something that I was going to work on. So that's just always something that has to be in mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things that is like, I reiterate this to the many all the time. Like, words are spells and spells are real. I don't want to hear you talking down about yourself or calling yourself stupid or saying you dumb or you couldn't do this or couldn't do that. I don't want to hear none of that shit. If you feel that way, cool, but I'm not going to let you project that shit out around me. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep that within, because once you project it outward, you're giving it life and more energy. You're not going to be able to stop and control every thought, you know, or every space you go to in your spirit realm. You're not going to be able to, but you can manage it the best way you can. And you can know that when you project it outward, you're giving it energy. So I wouldn't take it as suffering. You know what I'm saying? We battling. Do you think the opposition taking it as suffering? Hell no. They coming back with some more tactics. Some more tactics. You know what I'm saying? The same way they ain't taking no breaks, we not supposed to be taking no breaks either. We just feel like we should take a break, and we feel like we want a break. You know what I'm saying? But when it's game time, it's game time. I don't really know what else to say outside of that. Like, I never sat down on the court in the middle of a game. You know what I'm saying? I've never sat down in the middle of a football field in the middle of a game. Like, I never sat down on a baseball field in the middle of a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just never done these things. Like, I don't care how burnt out I am. It don't matter how burnt out I am. I'm going to push myself through till I finish. And then when I'm done, then it's like, now I could take the longest relaxing break that I could ever take. You know what I'm saying? But we done already made our mistakes. We're supposed to be throwing ourselves out there now to make sure we getting shit straight for the little ones. So if you suffering, then shit, I don't know what to tell you, but keep on suffering and make sure you doing better for the little ones. But you're going to have to remove that concept. If you don't remove that concept, then it's going to be continuous suffering, and you're going to continuously think that, shit, it's nothing I can do. It's nothing I can do. It's always something you can do. Always. Even if you can't get out of the space that you're in, physical space, you can fix the space that's within this vessel. You can always fix this space within here. And I had to get to a better understanding of that young, very young. That's why I'm even up here. You know, I know a lot of people drop stuff down there for me. I tap into some I don't tap in. But I wouldn't be in this space if I hadn't went through the experiences I went through and dove as deep as I dove for as many years as I did into the information and knowledge. You know what I'm saying? When you put those two together, that's where you get your wisdom from, is your experiences and your information. You know what I'm saying? Your knowledge. But without that, you don't get the wisdom. You can read all the books in the world, but if you ain't experiencing shit, you don't got no wisdom. You can experience a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? But if you're not doing the self-awareness evaluations, you don't get the whole package. I wouldn't lean them towards books, because if the system shut down right now, books wouldn't matter, you know what I'm saying? It's just another way of documenting information. So But the ones who have the experience, you have to be able to reevaluate, because I know a bunch of people who've been through a rack of shit and they don't self-evaluate, so they just keep going through the same shit over and over and over and over again. They don't learn, so they're not gonna get any wisdom behind that, even if they fucking got the information, because there's so much information out here now that a lot of people still are going to continue to keep cycling. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's easier to just follow nature and a natural flow with some fucking direction, shit that makes sense, shit that feels good. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you're in the worst position, and I've been in some bad positions, like, still just knowing I was naturally flowing and I was standing on my principles and morals, like, I was Gucci. You know what I'm saying? I was Gucci. So I would just change the concept of suffering. You have to organize another plan to put in place, so that way when you're focusing on the now and you start to ponder out into the future, because maybe something is annoying you or getting a little too hard, and you ponder out to the future, you have to organize a plan that you can take actual steps to get you out of that space right away. You know what I'm saying? Right away doesn't mean the next day or 2 days. Right away could be a month from now, 3 months from now, could be right away. 6 months from now could be right away. But once you get the plan, that's what's going to stamp you down. That's like adding another root to the tree. Like another tree just reached over underground and grabbed you because you was about to go down. It's like, I got you. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be this battle. Like, I don't even know how to emphasize it anymore. Like, I get drained, I get fried, but it's shit. What can I do? Ain't no days off. I take a day off, they gonna put more fucking weight on me. And that's just the process, so you have to understand that. Like, stay sharp, keep your tools nice, you know what I'm saying? Constantly do your self-evaluations. Anybody you engage with, use that experience to gain some more wisdom. I don't care if you just popping off with the clerk, you know what I'm saying, at the store or something. Reevaluate that engagement. How was their energy? How was their expressions? How did you feel after being involved with them? Like, all of this is going to help you build everything else that you're going to need within to kind of help you manage your energy better when you're in that space. All of it. You're going to have to experience life. You have to experience. If you're not experiencing, then they probably do got you in a box just suffering. You know what I'm saying? But remove suffering from your vocabulary. I never even used that word. I'm using it now because it's been brought to my attention several times. It's a lot of activity out here. That's why I'm like all over the place, just making sure it ain't no boys, no other stalkers. Yeah, you gotta keep my space clear. I got the mini up here in front of me too, so yeah, it's all part of the battle. It's all part of the battle. Change that word. If you feel that word is sitting in your spirit, in your space, change it. Change it. You can say war, you can say battle, you can say fight. Shit, hell, you can make up your own name. Whatever you want to call it. But I would remove that word suffering. I would remove it. I would remove it. You know what I'm saying? We got a whole nother space we go to from here. It's just small part of the plan, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't want to run up too long. Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.